There we go. You're live. All right. So, minutes of the last two meetings.
Okay. So the minutes from March 10th, 2025, all members were present. Clint Manning, trustee, Rick Carson, chairman, Renell Pfaffenbach, secretary, Ashley Harmon, member, and Andy Pfaffenbach, clerk. The January 25th minutes were read and approved. Recording meetings going forward, and Clint's looking into purchasing a microphone or sharing cost of video equipment with other townships. Cemetery mowing, 2 bids were received for mowing. Adam Oliver at $6,600 and 2.5 Men Lawn Care at $8,400. Motion to accept Adam's bid by Rick and seconded by Ashley. The cemetery fence bid, Rick will get bids for Nikonza fence, and we'll discuss at cemetery cleanup. The township assistance, we were to review assistance levels. Motion to use FPL guidelines for 2025 at 200% by Renell and seconded by Rick. Fire contracts uploaded to Gateway by March 1st. Nothing has been received from Henry Township, and the next meeting is on May 17th at 2 p.m. for Gilead Cemetery cleanup. And then,
We need a motion to approve.
Oh.
If you would do
yes,
I make a motion that we accept our signatures.
yeah, that's fine.
March meetings. Minutes.
You need to sign it.
it. Second motion?
Second motion.
So then, the meeting minutes from the hearing for the CIP and budget from September 19th, 2025. All members were present, including Clint Manning, trustee, Rick Parson, chairman, Renell Pfaffenbach, secretary, Ashley Harmon, member, and Andy Pfaffenbach, clerk. The minutes were not read, but the CIP law for townships was presented and discussed. CIP can be changed at any time. If funds are left in rainy day fund, they must be moved to a road repair fund with the county. And we signed the CIP resolution to adopt starting 2026 for 3 years out to 2028. The fire fund, some funds will come from the general fund going forward. Township website, it will be $2,200 for the fee per year and will include township email. Will contain township forms, contact information, minutes, and live stream of meetings. Flint would like to pay someone to build the website. The accountants are required to send quarterly tax reports and budget changes. Current, the phone is 28, internet is 60, and rent is 90. Update for 2026, phone 28, internet 60, and rent 90. Add site improvement for cemetery plotting and sonar, and discuss county board member salaries. Current salary of $350, increased to $450, presented by Rick and seconded by Ashley. And township assistance, we are to review updated assistance to discuss October meeting. Next meeting on October 17th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
I just have one thing I would add,
Okay,
that it's 30% that would have to be moved. To the
30%.
road fund, not the whole amount, but 30% of what was left.
Okay. Funds are left 30%. Okay. Anything else?
Motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
A second.
I guess we got one person move and the other second, as long as we're not gonna vote against themselves. All right, minutes approved. I'll just go down my list of the road down. We got a pile of fire contracts to sign. So here's Denver, same as last year. Oh, wait a minute. I guess you don't have to sign it. They took my advice and only had me put it on there to sign. That's already signed. Here's Henry though, but they still want everybody's signature on there. It's the same as last year. And then Roanne just needs a trustee and a secretary. They gave us 2 copies with theirs.
So you've received all of them?
I have not received the one from Allen, but I've been given a verbal by Allen Township. I see that it's the same amount. So. And she always just has trustee signature. So.
Right.
I didn't have to sign the other one.
No. Yeah, just. Yeah,
So that was,
the Rowan.
yeah.
All right, so that's done. I looked up in October last year at this meeting, we did these. So the nepotism forms. There's the clerk one. And then 3 township board member ones. And if y'all want to see it, there's the trustee one that I signed.
I didn't write down, were there changes
No,
for the contracts? Okay,
for what?
the fire contracts?
No, there wasn't any. Well, yes.
Rowan went down,
Rowan
right?
went down, yeah. Had some good discussions with Macy guys about different things with their open house, Halloween trunk or treat thing. And I may have found somebody to do the web work. All right, the other thing is salary resolution for next year. So since we had to go back to the original published budget thing, township board is still $350. So if you guys want to keep any of those changes, we have to advertise and do additional appropriations. If we wanted to do any of those increases and things we did at the last meeting. So if you want to do the increase to the township advisory salary thing, we can change the resolution, but then we'll have to do an appropriation to pay for that next year.
I would say just wait.
Yeah.
If everyone's else is okay with it.
So here is the one with the same numbers as 2025 for salary stuff. Resolution. Sorry for getting y'all's hopes up.
Yeah, we didn't
You know,
where to
I
do
bought extra Christmas stuff, didn't I? Okay. So along that line, if there was any, we can go over all that stuff, extra stuff we did. Whatever we want to do any additional. So here is copies of the Form 1 that you got that was the published numbers that we're going to vote on to adopt this evening. Like I said, that's the exact same one I handed out at the budget adoption meeting. That was publicized. So it's not the updated stuff we did we can't do it once it was published, so.
Mhm.
um,
So the things that we had changed, were there things in here that we definitely need to fix with an additional
I think the
appropriation?
biggest one would be, is there an extra in there?
Yeah.
The website, is that on
The
here?
website, but we had boosted it way up for, yeah, it's still at 840, and they are taking $100 and some bucks out a month. So, that would be one to do if we wanted to do one, or we could spend rainy day fund to cover it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because we've got 2,200 budgeted from that, so that we can spend on
right,
other
and
services and charges. So.
and we never use everything for some of the other stuff, like,
You mean in the general?
yeah, in the general fund, like the dues and training.
Well, hopefully we'll use more of that. Hopefully.
I thought he was wanting to increase that.
Hopefully I'm going to be retired next fall when they have this.
So this is your
Conference.
last, you'll be done in May?
I'm hoping. So I might use some of that to actually
Yes.
go to the conference. Yeah, so the phone and internet's back to where we, before.
Mm-hmm.
That's not raised. Yeah, about the only thing we don't use almost everything for is like mileage. I never get $400 for the mileage reimbursement. Printing and advertising, we don't generally use all that, but if we're doing any additional appropriations, we'll use more of that. And if Adam doesn't want to do the mowing again, we'll have to do the bid thing again.
But as long
But
as,
everything else, I mean, yeah, that association dues and training and the $100 weekend broke. Those are the only two that really don't.
but as long as we aren't going over what the total from the general,
Right, but the 840 was the price that I thought we were paying, not the other. So,
mm-hmm.
so yeah. So if we don't do any additional for that appropriation, we can use the 2,200 and rainy day stuff to cover that for the year, and then correct everything next budget cycle.
Okay.
So, and we get further in the year, why do we need to do it? We can do it. Additional appropriation stuff. So, okay. Any questions on other things? We have a motion to adopt.
I make a motion.
I second.
So my next thing was to discuss additional appropriation to make up and stuff. So another question I had is we did have some fencing stuff. So we've got, we almost never spend that $2,200 budgeted for rainy day. So in our CIP, we said taking some money from the rainy day for some of the cemetery fencing. So do we want to do one of them? This year for the budget cycle.
Because we could do all of them as long as we did an additional appropriation.
Yes. Yeah. So next year we got 2,200. So we had them spaced out different years, but yeah. Day.
Well, because do we ever use
So
the
we've
whole amount for the
Yeah,
cemetery?
we spent enough, but Oh, we spent $60 out of rainy day? Wonder what I did there. Oh, because of additional tax account and stuff. Because of the quarterly filing. So, yeah. So we spent 60 of the 2,200.
But we never use all the cemetery money, the 11,000,
Right, but that cannot, well, yeah, we could do fencing from there.
because it's repairs and maintenance.
But that's designated funds.
Oh,
They can't
it wouldn't be
touched.
CIP.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
where I was getting at. But,
And in order to use the CIP, do the CIP stuff, you have to do the additional, because that would, the additional appropriation, because it adds to your budget, what you're spending.
right, so if we do that stuff next year, yeah, if it goes over the 2,200, we'll have to do an additional to do it, so.
So we just need to know when we do that, we do all of the additional appropriations at the same time.
Yeah.
If we need
save on
to.
advertising.
Right.
But are you guys wanting, I mean, it's late in the year, you want to try to do anything with this year? Rainy day budget? On
I
that?
guess the only one would be is like whichever one we wouldn't have to prepare to have it done for.
Yeah.
Was
Gilead is
Yeah,
not
I mean,
right.
when Brad
like Condo's cleared
Price.
off,
Yeah,
but Gilead's not.
No.
doing it,
not for this year.
is he gonna, I mean, he was planning on doing them all in one trip, right?
He never said that.
Well, the
I
quote
mean,
was
is he,
separate.
if he has to make multiple trips and haul his equipment back and forth several times, I mean, that kind of throws his estimate out the window, right?
Well, I don't know, he didn't,
And we were debating whether we
because
put
we didn't
15 at
bid it all
shoemakers,
together, so.
Okay.
Each one is individual.
I thought there were trees that need to be taken out before they could be done at Shoemaker.
Oh, there's tons of trees, yeah. We put a fence at Shoemaker, trees are gonna fall on it.
And we'd have to see how even far out he is for this year.
So we don't even mess with it this year then? All right, next on my list is rainy day transfer. Do we want to do that? It's back to the 10%. The township budget, so.
So we're gonna move it into rainy day that we have to then do something with CIP
But it comes
with
from
it.
general, so. they're
Okay.
both- It doesn't matter, because they're both targeted.
Okay,
Doesn't
okay,
matter which one, so,
okay.
I mean.
Is there a
we've got
benefit
lot
to
of
one over
money-
the other?
We've got a lot of money in rainy day. We've got, I had that pulled up and I changed it. Hmm. So we've got 86, almost 87,000 in rainy day. And 54,000 in township, but there'll be quite a bit coming out of that before the end of the year. Couple fire contracts and salaries and. So to me, what's the benefit of having it in rainy day now versus general fund? Because we still got to do the same thing and spend it one way or the other. So it's not like it's safeguarded in the rainy day or, so. But we can move it if y'all want to.
That's why I was asking, does it benefit us to move it really?
I don't know if it does or not. I told you before, just as mine, but I put a big chunk of that, like 50 grand of that rainy day over into the savings I was checking. Cause the saving gives interest. Checking doesn't. So.
Honestly,
Yeah,
you
at
could
this
put,
point, I don't think it really matters, this whole.
yeah. Honestly, you could put everything in savings except just a little bit and move it back and forth as you needed to.
Yeah, with the one line, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how I transferred her. Just,
Yeah.
so you guys want to do it or not?
I mean, if there's no benefit to it, then why go through
Do
the,
you? I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't see bother then if it's
in
not.
the past, when we always talked about it, it was like, oh, it's out of the general, so it's over there, so we can do whatever.
other than it being in rainy day and we can appropriate it to fire or,
Well, we can do the same with the general funds.
we can move it to cemetery or wherever if we wanted to. It's not
Oh,
time.
no, you can't move it to the designated funds, but you could pay for the designated stuff out of the.
Right.
Because the big thing with the fire happened right when we were switching over was you couldn't put the tax money in your fire fund
Mm-hmm.
unless it was designated for just fire. Because a lot of people were putting their, well, I think you were doing that, putting your lit into the fire. I think that's how you showed me to do it.
That's the way they told us to do it, and then they changed it.
So yeah, you have to put the lit stuff in general, and then just your price of your fire pay stuff goes from your fire fund. So.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know if you can move rainy day funds over to. But why move them if you just say, oh, we're gonna pay it out of that fund?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I thought if it was in rainy day, it didn't matter what you used it for. But if it was in general, you were still tied to using just certain things with general.
Using it for what?
If it was in rainy day, you could move it to general or township assistance or fire or cemetery. But if it's in general, I didn't think you could move it from general into cemetery or general into.
You can't move it, no, but you can designate fund to pay for, like
Even out of
like
general.
we've got in the budget, $6,000 in the general fund for fire
Right.
contracts. So that's, we're paying for fire out of there, but it's not, I guess when we put it in the budget, it's designated, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But that was something new before you didn't have fire in general.
Yeah.
So I mean, at this point, if we have to use it, I don't see a need to move it
I don't either, so.
unless they're going to change what we do with rainy day again.
So we're not gonna do that then?
Nope. Do we need to have a vote? Or we just decided?
Yeah, we talked about that. I gave you that township assistant stuff to look at from last time. Did anybody do that?
Even brought it back.
That was the intake stuff and everything, right? And then I showed you what we have. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't give you the great big thing back from ITA though.
No.
I've done that before, but it's like,
Theirs is pages and pages.
yeah.
It looks like a legal, I mean, it is a legal document.
Yeah.
But yes.
And, yeah, so I went through. Yeah, it's 30 pages long. So, the only thing on ours, you know, we might add a few things, but keep it simpler like we've got. Like we, you know, I bet I add something saying, that's based off of the federal poverty lines and all that stuff like we talked about
Mm-hmm.
in this one, or maybe adopt the longer one, and this is what we hand out, and that line, complete, you know, document can be had on request or something, because this is what I hand out to people with the form, I don't want to print out 30 pages every time I
Right.
give them that.
They aren't gonna read.
But if we have it on the website, we can also just put that full policy can be found.
If the full policy is on the website, it's not gonna deter people from applying, because they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta read through this and apply. And am I even gonna be eligible?
If the 10-page form that's found doesn't do that
Right,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so when you guys looked over that, anything you see that you think need to be changed, updated? I mean, we already adopted the poverty level thing to use for the baseline.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing with if we did like I mean, I can give you a copy of that if you want the ITA one. It includes everything. I mean, just.
So that being said, if we were to adopt the 30-page ITA one, and it has to be reviewed every year,
Would be like federal government, right? Could be expected to read all of every page.
What can you hide in the middle of what can you hide in the middle of it that nobody will read?
Well, she said we gotta pass it before we read it.
Mm.
Remember?
It could be
Because we
expected
don't-
to read it
Because we don't know
before
what's
we
in
pass it.
it. First.
Yeah.
Which, if it's online, it'll be easy to fix.
I mean,
Well, the ITA is going to be updating theirs every year and reviewing it.
oh, yeah, well,
So it would be, we would look at theirs too to say, oh, they've changed
what
this.
I
in
did,
it.
yeah, I downloaded theirs and, which they called the sample.
Mhm.
And then I just went through and updated, put Perry Township where it needed to be put
Right.
and Miami County and all that stuff and, addresses and phone numbers and, so, but yeah, it gets very, very detailed.
So is,
but if we can say, here's the basics, like
Mhm.
that for them. And if you want to see every little detail, you can read it here,
and
Um,
everything was relevant to us in our situation because, they're
It
bigger.
could be,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I have all the stuff in the state law, because all these things got references to state law all over the place on them. What I like about it is that if somebody really is like, what would you give to, blah, 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 we can say here.
This is why.
So, but it's very, very, very detailed. Which, I learned stuff reading through it. An automobile is not by statute recognized as a basic necessity. Which I would say, Perry Township, you kind of need one, but
Well, that's what I was
then the Amish
saying.
guy was so, you know.
And that's what I was saying was it all applicable to us because they're in a bigger town. It's ITA, but it is in a bigger township, the ones that run it.
Yeah, but it was, like I said, every little line's based off the state law thing and made out the,
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a PDF and email it to you guys to look at. Just take it out. Tell me you don't have to print it.
So we'll do, if we so approve We'll follow the ITA guidelines on the website with a shorter version, a condensed version for,
handouts. So basically that with a few things added, like, here's the full thing. And I've got a PDF of the TA1, the 10-page form thing. We have to buy and hand out.
which we won't have to anymore.
Yeah, they can just download it and print it out and whatnot. But, I mean, I'll still have them in case somebody,
Can't.
if they're that hardship, they might not have a boy print it out.
That's not a necessity.
Yeah,
Or a computer.
yeah, exactly. So, in the same way, do this, I would have a printed copy that I could hand somebody.
Okay.
All right, so I will,
So we will talk about that again at the next meeting.
yeah, because we already did our yearly review at that one, the other
Right.
meeting, so this was just thinking farther down the line. All right, then I just had setting the next meeting dates. But I didn't have this thing. Do you think there's any reason we need to meet again this year? In the past, we've had a December meeting, but,
I always do December meeting to hand out checks basically
so
and set up the next.
I've got them made out, it's not dated. Why, is there a reason it has to be in December? I could just hand them out now, we wouldn't have to do a December meeting?
You could. Nobody's gonna quit, resign
No.
before the end of the year.
No. No.
Oh, no, that 2 months is gonna make a difference. All right, so we can do that. So we won't need a December meeting? Mhm. All right, January, supposed to have the org meeting the second Tuesday of, then the annual report approval meeting.
So January 13th.
So
Our Tuesday is gonna work for you.
that early, yeah, because classes aren't in session yet, so.
Okay.
Is that the second Tuesday?
January 13th is.
Board meeting would be January 13th. And then I doubt if we'll have the annual report done by then, so we'll have to. Do you want to set an annual report meeting or set it at the 13th meeting?
Is that the one we do in March? The meeting?
No, it has to be
That's to be
submitted.
submitted by March 1st, isn't it?
Oh,
Annual report.
okay.
I don't remember the date.
I think so.
It seems like we always met the end of January.
Yeah. All right, so we'll set that.
At the next meeting.
Yeah, I feel we'll have a better idea.
Okay.
Um,
So still at 7 p.m.
Yeah, we'll make that way so it's easier to remember, right? So we don't want to set up a budget workshop meeting. We usually do in like June. Basically go through and you want to make those changes, or do you want me to just say, okay, we'll make those changes for the next one? Like we did at the last meeting? That we didn't get in.
Well, I think we need to meet in June or July to make the
Okay.
changes, yeah.
That needs to be in June because the
'Cause then
budget
you-
meetings start in July
Right.
with Judy, so.
I mean, we can discuss it now if you,
I mean.
when we meet, if you think there's
I know,
gonna be a lot of
we can
change.
set it at the later meeting, but I just wanted to know if we wanted to have one then.
Well, you don't know what might come up that they change between now and then that may have to be discussed, so.
So I've been told the powers certain powers to be either have it out for townships or trying to get something through the next session.
Did eliminate townships? Or to
Now,
what?
it's on the road to it, but things like if you got less than a certain amount of people or a certain amount of budget, or you haven't done any township assistance,
They want to combine townships
they want to
again?
make townships combine, yeah. So hopefully that go through, but who knows?
They talked about that when I was still on.
So,
And some did combine on their own.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to combine them down because they're all gonna be fed up. We'll talk about that after me. So we did that CIP as a 3-year plan. I want to look into that. I don't know if we need to do that every year or not.
And make
Or
it
every
3 years, or make it, adjust it to then, now it's 27 to 29.
Yeah, I don't know if we have to do it every year or not, so I'm gonna check on that.
Okay.
And we'll coordinate so we're doing
I thought you said it
things
was,
together.
I thought at the last meeting you made mention that it could be for multiple years.
Yeah. Well, it was for a 3-year plan, but I don't know if we have to.
You probably
Redo it every
update
year.
it, so you always have a 3-year plan.
Probably.
Well, I think it probably has to be discussed, but
And then you always have a 3-year plan, don't you think?
Yeah, so I don't know if we gotta do this hearing and adoption and stuff every year or not, so. If we do, we will plan that. So we can,
Fit it all in.
yeah. I'll check on that soon, because if we do, we can do the budget workshop will be the CIP hearing. And then the budget hearing will be the CIP adoption.
As long as they let you do
Well,
that.
actually, no, we found out we could do the hearing and adoption at the same time, so I guess we could do them both at
The budget, and yeah, which it kind of fits together, the
Yeah.
CIP and the budget.
so. Yeah, we'll plan it. As long as they don't throw more stuff down, like Andy said. So. Yeah, the June meeting, we'll have to set the budget hearings and budget adoption meetings and. Yeah, I'll have to enter those in and. The good part of that thing is they're also trying to get it through again. You don't have to do the newspaper stuff. It can just be online. So,
Which makes sense, especially if everybody has a website. If all townships have a website, it's
so
on their
that makes the
website.
website pretty important.
well, even if it was just a
Getting it
state,
established.
if they, even if it was just on Gateway, like the budget adoption and stuff, if you had it where you, okay, there's a notice for additional appropriation, so it's all in one spot.
How many people do that, go on there though? Where I think,
In our
if-
township, none.
but if,
And how
I,
many people get the newspaper anymore?
right, but I'm just saying, if we have a township website and it is promoted a little bit, I mean, that people know, that would be a lot easier for people to get on than get into Gateway to see things.
Yeah.
So it would be a viable place to get information.
Mhm.
And I know at one point, somebody was trying to do a Perry Township Facebook page and stuff and try to keep things up, but
I guess we got figured out we could offer some kind of community service thing like that. All right, that's all I had. You guys have anything else? The next meeting is January 13th, again. All right. We adjourning?
we are adjourned.
In the stream.